Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe and this is Workers and Resources, and tonight we have another episode of we kind of have everything ready to do the next step, but then still something keeps happening that keeps us distracted from the next thing that needs to happen. But today, that next thing may actually happen. That steam train? Yeah, great. I did not plan that, but I love that it was there. Bitumen, you're already done. That was super fast. I mean, look at that. It took like no time at all. Which means distribution office. You will no longer go there. Just hit X on that thing and then click Y on this thing until it unload this thing. Get me some bitumen, please, and thank you very much. Cool. We even have some gravel. 1 ton of gravel already sitting there. So even bringing workers here at this point is completely useless because there's not enough material to do anything useful with. How many trucks do we need to actually make this thing run? I don't know, but once we can start filling this thing up, I don't have money to waste on trucks right now. And I would like this to be much more full than what it is currently. So we'll see how all of that goes. There is a thought of saying, well, you should have just put this thing closer to where your actual production is, then you wouldn't have had this problem, to which I would say, yeah. So, moving on to coal. We have established that happiness is actually going up. Cool, nobody's starving anymore. Health has gone up too because satiation has gone in the right direction. The average lifespan has gone in the right direction. All the things are good. Great. We have established that this is our coal. Well, we will produce 200-ish, 200-odd tons of coal ore per day with 100 workers once they actually become available. And our population number actually has not grown in a very long time. Also, speaking of grown, move back 1 year. Thank you very much. 1935 still. Very good. Time Master mod. That's what it's called. If you find any buildings that you're like, where did you get that from, Joe? You are not on the public beta branch. I do not play the public regular branch because I haven't. Since the beginning of playing 6 or 7 years ago, I've never been on the public branch for a very short time. I actually have been when I was doing recordings and stuff, but there's just always so much missing. And the public beta branch has been super safe for as long as I remember. You will have crashes every once in a while anyway, so may as well get the most out of it. Anyways, that was that. There's always a question somewhere in Discord or on the same videos, etc., etc. But I wanted to cover that here, which is probably way too late, but that's okay. Let's find the buildings that we have. Okay, so we have a storage. Great. That storage needs to feed into a thing that can actually consume the stuff. The stuff that we have is coal ore. Our processing capacity is 240 tons, not 200. The numbers are harder. Maximum daily consumption is 420 tons of coal ore, which we don't have yet because we don't have that industry, obviously. Here's 140. But I think the percentage is almost the same, so that's a little wild. This is just 3 times more. 3 times 8 is 240, and 3 times 140 is 420, so they have exactly the same ratio, just a little smaller. It can only consume 140 tons. We said we're going to produce 200 tons of coal ore, which means at worst we can allow a couple less mine workers to work in the mines, which I hope they don't mind. I'll leave that with you. So, I would like the road connection to look at this side for no specific reason. This looks fine. There's an input even coming from this side. Yeah, this is definitely a community update. No, this is an early start building. It may not be a community update related thing that you have this many more connections that you didn't have before. True that. Let's see, can I get a good enough road connection right in front of that building that it's not super embarrassing? I think the answer to that question may just be, yeah, it looks like it. All right, cool. And we need water and sewage here, and at this point it probably makes more sense to actually bring a real sewage and water line in. You are collecting a heck of a lot of material. That looks like a train just did a thing. We are having a lot of construction going on, so I wouldn't be surprised if that has caused the thing that it did. I do have to make sure that we are not really running out of materials, but also not out of money. maybe it's okay to just let it do whatever it feels like doing. Make this one a high priority because those guys actually need to do something useful. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. If I have to take out a loan, a short-term loan, I will. I mean, we're talking like 50,000 here. We don't need a ton. So that's fine. Moving on. Yeah, my fan is on. Good. Moving on. Back to this. So you're going to produce approximately 80 tons of coal per day. These 80 tons of coal per day need to go into other industries. The other industry that I really care about is this one, and you will consume gravel, not coal. Why are you caring about coal over here? You don't need coal for chemicals at all. I thought I was wrong when I said that an episode or two ago, but wasn't 100% sure. So we don't need a chemical plant to consume any coal, just to make sure, and none of the other ones do either. They all have the same vanilla recipe. There are some out there, coking plants, I think, maybe. There's some mods out there that do use coal to produce their chemicals, but that's not what I'm talking about. So this gets produced. Once it gets produced, it should go into an intermediate storage again, for all the reasons that you may or may not care about. It actually, because we do potentially want to have a power plant running here, it's not a bad idea. How far are we away? We're pretty far away. It's not a bad idea to have a conveyor belt help with the prioritization of where the stuff is actually supposed to go. So you fill up the coal power plant storage first, then worry about the rest. So what all am I willing to build here? I think the big one is I did want the brick factory. Ooh. Okay, brick is one that requires 33 tons of coal. We are producing 80. Good. The other one, and we have the big one even, perfect. The other one is a cement plant, and even the early start cement plant requires 11 tons of coal. Ugh. This has to be next to a gravel factory, which means we don't have to worry about that here. Gravel factory, gravel processing plant, gravel crusher. Yeah, quarry. All those words probably kind of work out in that sense. All the others really don't require coal, and I don't remember. Steel. Obviously, steel. We don't have steel yet. I don't have plans for a steel mill to come in here, and you know why? Because a steel mill requires 375 tons of coal per day. We have a fifth of that? Yeah, about a fifth. Not even. So, no, there's no more coal here that I can produce, and I would like the steel mills that I'm running. Part of the unofficial title of the season is efficient season, is to actually run reasonably well, and right now I'm not really doing that. So, okay, all we're gonna do here is power and bricks. Great. Checking on power. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, beep, beep. Calculating. Coal power plant. 12 tons of coal per day. Are we getting 2 brick makers? That's a lot of bricks that we have to export or do something with. Huh. Interesting problem you have there. With that in mind, I think you're just opening yourself up to having to export some of the coal that gets stored here, which is not the end of the world at all. What's your input look like? You have a very normal input, and you only have 1 power output. I don't hate that, because the whole Republic does require more than 1 thing of power. So having 1 here to get started does not scare me one bit. It could go something like this. I do want to power everything in this area. So that will be good. F2, what's the problem here? The problem is that it's not at the end of the hill, and also... perfect. This part of the hill has a slight anomaly. Anemone? Slight problem with how stuff is actually organized. But if I build something in here, it doesn't matter, because you still have to do your in-between coal storage. Okay, let's look at how much coal you can actually preserve. You can preserve 100 tons of coal. That's 10 days. That's 8 days of coal before you run out. And if this area does not produce that, you have other problems anyways. So maybe that's a good thing. Traffic jam. That's a bad thing. Tempted to look at this. No, it's just an excavator. What are you doing? Yes, this is the classic problem of if you do not supply your own fuel to these things, this can happen, which is quite annoying because only one truck can actually do this thing. Do you want to just become part of this gravel quarry and not this gravel quarry, and then we don't have to actually deal with that problem? There's a truck doing something right there. Maybe it was that one. Hold on. That one's the right one. This one's the other one. This one's waiting to load it. Beautiful. I don't think I solved anything, but I'm glad I clicked on the traffic alert icon. Great. So, if the power plant will go somewhere down here, I think your best bet is to use one of the conveyor belts to actually facilitate having multiple priorities for different sources. The first one would go straight into the power plant, which we now can place. We probably could have just placed it beforehand, but I wanted to make sure that I'm not completely screwing myself, and I think we have arrived at the point where I'm not completely screwing myself. Very good. I'm glad our excavators are close enough where this is not a problem. Yes, and I do have to make sure that we actually have that little tentacle coming in, and then I do not like where our road connection was, so we're just going to flip this whole thing around and build you into the side of the mountain. Also should block some of the clouds. Nope, game doesn't care. But it's cool to think, right? Yeah, it's very cool. Awesome. So there's the production line there. There's the production line here. Let's get the road out of the way. By that I just mean plan for it, so we don't have to plan for it later. There you go. Very possible that this one should just join this. Sure. Maybe zoom out a little more. There we go. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. That's as pretty as you're gonna get it, buddy. All right. We're gonna go right here then. Beautiful. And then this may be our direct line to wherever this goes. So that's good. We will transport all the people here just fine. This is not a through road. You may regret that. Maybe. I can still change my mind on what we're building here, so I don't know if regret has to happen just yet. But let's get an aggregate storage in here and math out what our brick factory will actually consume. 33 tons of coal a day. Not a lot. 10 days, which is a lot in this game because we're never going to run out of coal, is going to supply us, well, 330 tons, which means we can really just go with a small aggregate storage and don't have to worry about it. 1,000 will be fine. This one will be fine. They're both about the same everything. This one is built a little faster. It's the OG. It's just there's a little nostalgia to build these again whenever you can. So that's what we're going to attach into here if the game lets me. And this is the area, and I think I've seen it in a couple other places. If you turn your camera completely around, there's a chance that the game will let you do the thing anyways. Actually, why don't you just connect to that? That was your first plan in the first place. I think that's where I tried to connect to, and then the conveyor belts and the hard to reach thingamabobs started happening, and now this is not working. Yep, that's totally where I wanted the road to go. Something like this. Research program finished again. Oh my goodness. What are we gonna get? I know we can find resources now. Woohoo! What should be the next one? Let's start on a steel production because I wouldn't kick a steel mill out of bed for the next thing, because yes, that is one of our biggest consumers, and yes, it does make a lot of money if we let it. So it may be a good thing to go there. I did have to reduce the cases that they were working on to 3, but as you can see, they're kind of still catching up with all of that, and our population has not done a lot in terms of growing. Okay, let's look at something. Throughout the whole time, we have 286 escapees. Oh, that's more than I wanted to happen. Why? Why are you escaping? What is your problem? Let's look at criminality. 4%, 4%, 4%, 3%, 4%, 2%, 4%, 2%, 3%. Everyone can read. As annoying as it is, guess what I need to do next? If you guessed build another police station, you have guessed right. Don't like it, but yeah, if this is our criminality rating and we're not keeping up with the cases, then we have to build another one. But what I could do is just replace all the existing police stations with one large police station and call it good. I'm just a little annoyed that that is even a thing that I need to worry about, because I feel like the rotate. I feel like the normal police station should have solved the problem in this republic, or in this size of city. Anyways, if I do that, I don't really want to add you down there. I think in that case, I just add you down here. There's a footpath. I have sewage and water. And there you go. Road goes here. And you have access to everything, plus a little bit of access to stuff that might be going on over here. And let's get that one rolling. Rolling, 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 roll. Something like that. There's a band. What is this? Bio-waste. Great. I knew what that was. It was more a rhetorical question. Garbage containers overfilling. I think if we just give you a couple dollars... Really? A couple dollars to buy a smaller garbage container truck, we shouldn't have that problem. You do the smaller containers with a larger capacity, but you also cost a little more money. 2 tons. I think this one's just fine and nice and quick. So let's get that one moving. You guys have everything built, so we could start bringing some cement in. How much is a cement truck and how much does a delivery cost us? Also, where did I get you from? Oh, I remember. The demo office. Okay, demo office it is. Go back home. Cement truck. How much you are? Show all. Dry bulk tank. 1.5 tons, 3.5 tons, and 5 tons for 2,000. That's not the end of the world. Make it white. And then this one can be single-handedly responsible for bringing more stuff in. Speaking of single-handedly, this is not great. Our numbers have not shown the what I wanted to see, so let's reduce a couple workers there. This is fine. This is whatever it is. We have a lot of smart people, so how about we just turn this one off entirely to save a couple workers. Nothing to repair. That's good to hear. And all the other places are as full as they always have to be, and this is probably the same problem we had before. Yes, yes it is. Let's make you a friend. You, 45 tons. You gotta be kidding me. Nothing has moved yet. We need a bigger truck. You, sir, will become this. You, sir, will get out of here. And then you should be hopping onto your new line. Turn around. I listened. Don't like that our population is not going in the direction that I need it to go, but I also don't think we necessarily have empty lots. It's just a population thing that we're going through, where older people don't work anymore, and the younger people... Do we have younger people? Ah! Aha! Ha! You see that number? The number is 199. We don't have any room for them anymore. Just not a good thing. Let's see. Can we squish in 1 or 2 extra buildings to at least keep a couple of our friends around? We have sewage. We have water here. That is good. This is really just extra access, really, honestly. Let's see. I don't know if they have access to the waste, but this one is fine, and that explains a lot why our population number keeps just staying around 3,000 and not going up, because we don't have room for anyone to go up. Therefore, can't go up. Yeah, I should have known that, as usual, but most of these things are just totally unknowable. There was no way to predict this. Totally was. So, you don't have to worry about that too much. It does hurt your reputation a little bit, but in general, people are fine overall. Because at some point your republic is going to run out of room no matter what you do. So don't stress it too much. You connect there. You connect here. I think our conveyor belt station, cableway station, is going to go right into this plot right here. You don't have the best footpath connections that I could hope for. But then what was I thinking? Anyways, if I put you a little further this way, maybe it's a little easier. Where do you want the road connection and the footpath connection to go? This may be fine. No, but then your road connection's actually a little further away. That's not going to be helpful. So TRR... No, T? You didn't gain anything, but the footpath connection's on that side now. I don't know that that is better or worse. Okay. If that is a node right there, then this is going to be the other node. This is not an official node. Doesn't matter what that one does. We clearly need a quick access to this. Aha! 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 Alright. Let's see if we can trick you into letting us build a pedestrian bridge up here. No, hill causing obstruction. Okay, let's see if I can trick you into letting me build a pedestrian tunnel from here. No, you cannot. It's just way too steep here, and if we look at F2, that is exactly what we're seeing. With all that in mind, I think your best bet is to use the excavators that you did have in the area and lower this down a little bit and hope that the road is going to be okay with following this. I don't have real big plans to put a bridge here. So keep that in mind. If we take this road back a little more, and then this one can come down here. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. It's kind of flattening it out. That's better. Not perfect, but better enough. And then footpath here is now as unlikely to happen as it was before. Great. So try that again. Not the bulldozer. This thing. Make a bigger picture. So they get the picture more. Then use your bulldozer capacity to stay near the level of what the power plant currently is sitting at. Level all of this out with your 3 excavators. Of course, remove all of the road that no longer has a purpose there. And then see that this also no longer works. Okay, this one I think we can solve. It's just a little awkward. We would have to need... I saw it. We would need that. We still need a road to go somewhere. Yep, like that. My dog is being interested. Okay. Then we need this pedestrian bridge. You can normally run these when it gets too steep. You cannot build on a mountain. What are you doing? I know. So that. Great. I think we can still salvage this. We just have to go... Everything has to go a little lower than it was before, and then we'll see how that goes. This seems like a good level for right now. I don't care what level it is, but we'll see if we can get what we need out of this. Why does it have to be right here? I am trying to find a place that is right in between the power station or the power plant and the other things, so I don't have to add any funky extra business in here afterwards. That's really the only goal. Yeah, flatten this out to a reasonable extent. You're doing great. Yeah, just perfect. You did it. Proud of you. And then we have one there. That's fine. This one just has to come down the mountain. No problem. I'm assuming you have footpath access right away, 200 meters. Yep, no problem at all. And then the last one would be finding the right camera angle that actually lets us build here. Nope. Nope. Yes, up until that point right there. Do I have to go really close? Nope. Really far away. It's gonna be a problem if I can't build here the way that I want to build. It's doing something. I feel like that was a trick. Ah? Hope I never have to do anything here again, but... Oh boy. You see that the footpath is like cut off in a really funny angle? I think there's something... Yeah, I'm not surprised by this at all. There's something from this angle. It looks like it can actually do something. There's something. Oh yeah. Whoa! Wow! This angle has no problems. Okay. Now that we know that, let's rebuild the thing that I just destroyed prematurely, as usual. Which would be right there as your access. All of those things are fine. Make that road semi-straight. Get me a footpath access. Hook in right into there. Up here, up there, and that is to the same road connection. Then talk to you. You get a footpath to that thing. Beautiful. So all of this is happy. Great. Now we need to somehow finagle this thing to go that way. Currently it's pointed more this way, which is honestly a good problem to have because I can fix that to look better. Okay. Cableway, money, 25,000. People still leaving us, but that's expected at this point. So, if this is our direction that we have to go, then there's no reason to have the footpath connections in there at all, I think. Instead, we're just going to go with good old school Evel Knievel connection to the mountain, and then this hopefully still gives us all the connections that we had. 320 meters up there, well 246 really to that one, 246 to that one, and 64 meters there. Perfect. All of it is connected and gets us to where we need to go. That's what we needed to see, and now we can build in the cableways for the last thing. That's a light cableway. You want the heavy ones. Thank you. E up. We're as high as we can go. So let's just get started. Just going straight for a little bit. And we're gonna start angling here, probably right now. And then to come in, I'm hoping that we can kind of just use the existing cableway poles as a guiding light. Why is that one too low when the other ones aren't? That's a little annoying. Stop it. I would like you to kind of start from this side then, because I think we can get at least the same road connections. Apparently I built that one too close. Oopsies. Oh, that one was too sharp, but that one isn't. Perfect. Done. Everything is nice and connected. Let's get you there. You will then just have a parallel service road that goes down here. Will you? Apparently. This will always be a mud road, remember? Alright, so mud road goes here. The rear road will go down here. It has to join up at some point into a thing. And there's nothing better to join up this thing than a end of road roundabout, because everyone knows that's what we want. Back this up. Roundabout. How big do you want to be? That big is the right big. So, yep, not there. There you go. And then here you go. It's the end of the line for this thing. I hope everyone enjoyed it. No, it's not for the season. Gosh, no. So much to do. we are not even. We're not even in the 15% yet. Probably. How long will it be? I don't know, no idea. But that gets us to where we want to be, and we have a power connection here. We do have the higher voltage lines now, 14 and 15 megawatts, perfect. It can run wherever it needs to run. Not terribly worried about that one. And then, yeah, we got bricks here. Cool. We have the rail already on the correct side, which is exciting. We have a lot of room to expand here if we want to use the extra coal, and I'm already thinking about the extra coal that we can get out of this thing. 33 tons, so 66 tons plus the power plant gives us 12 tons. So 66 plus 12, class, do it with me, is 78. How much coal did we set we could produce potentially per day? 80. So 2 brick factories here would actually be perfect, because either we will forever export that stuff, or something else will happen. I don't know which one's more likely. But if I set this up right away with that in mind, I think I have a bigger chance of... You can't build here. Why? Oh, there's a piece of road there. Who put that there? I have a bigger chance of success, potentially. And all we really need is an output for this thing. Obviously, we need to worry about the waste that this thing produces too, but I'm hoping that that's not going to be the end of the world no matter what we do. You don't actually... What is going on here? That one... Nope, stay at this angle, because it's the only angle you can do this at. 4. There we go. Wow. There's already someone here that's like, yeah, I know what to do. How about you? You can go there. Great. How many workers do we have in this thing? Maybe that's another question I should answer first. 75. Ooh, I think we're good. 75 plus 75 is 150, plus 100 from the mine is 250, plus the coal plant, I believe, has about 10 workers, and the coal processing plant also has 10 workers, so we're below the 300 threshold. It is called the efficient season for a reason. Haha, I should make that a slogan too. And this is not going to work. I was hoping. There's an easy fix for this one, trust me. All we have to do here is tell excavators, make this a little lower, so there's a little bit of a lull going down. Then use your footpath to go down right there and come down from that little gully right in here. And now, no problem. I knew that. No, I didn't know that. I had very high hopes that that will just work. Cool, so that one's connected here. Great. The only thing that we then really have left is both of these will probably produce a buttload of bricks all the time, which is fine. We could try to export it to a ship. Will be a very short shunting line. Actually, ship is probably the right thing to do here. Well, maybe for the next 20 in-game years or so, we actually require a brick load of bricks all the time, so it could be sufficient to just do that. 1,000 tons. I just can't say no to 1,000 tons of bricks out of this thing. Do you want to do it this way? We could go one there, one here. I'm trying to think if I want a cargo station or not. You definitely have to flip that thing around anyways. Rotate you so the rail connection is on that side. Okay, get this one a little closer anyways because space. Take this one out, make it better. T, R, R, T again. Okay, now they're connected. So we can either just do it with direct lines or we can do it with a cargo station. I don't think there's a need to have a cargo station here. Yes, you can pick up more, but maybe I'll just turn one of them off. It's pretty easy to come back later and be like, no, I actually, I would like to have the cargo station right here, but we don't have to have it, right? Good, cool, I'm glad we agree on that. Then you would go down here, just have a random connection there. You, speaking of, it's going to be really easy to have that cargo connection right there. Maybe, if you can, you should run your road up this mountain instead of the other mountain. That's better. So far, so good. You can't connect to a thing that is a footpath crossing. Should know that. That goes there, that goes there, that connects here, and then this one just has to get back into this. Part of me thinks that I remember that at some point I was saying something about delivering coal all over the Republic, To which I now feel like that was a leftover of thinking about we need to worry about. Let's give ourselves some room right there. Sure. That was a leftover from me thinking that we still have to worry about coal or heat, which we don't. So this is going to be our loop-de-loop. Great. If we want to add a cargo station here, we can. There's enough room. If we want to add a harbor here, we can. There's enough room. We will have to add another loop around here, but that's honestly not the biggest issue because there is also, guess what, enough room to make that happen. So, yeah, that's good. What was this? 3 hours to get to this point? Beautiful. How are you doing? 730 tons of gravel. Great. We have all of this stuff done. Very great. Construction office 9. We have 44,000 in the bank. Are you serious? I was hoping it was a little more than that. We're just not producing enough with the number of workers that we have. And we have... Number scared me. It said 100 instead of thousands. But yeah, we still have the same problem as before. These two have to be built. You allow 5 per thing. That looks good. And I would just like to make sure that all of our workers are actually utilized. That would be great. This one is the police station that I would like to have organized. Yeah, no, we definitely need it. We are getting to the phase where there's going to be a problem. And at the end, I'm going to definitely remove these two. This one may still stay at low capacity, and these guys are the ones that actually have to do the work. Unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbled, I suppose. So we're just going to deal with it. What else is left? You would like some fuel there. I, for now, will allow my distribution guy over here to deliver fuel to this friend. That's about it. These guys can get their fuel from there. That should be okay. And yeah, we have planned all of that. You know what the next thing is? Graveling all of this road. I know there are a couple unfortunate crossings, but I think we can get over that problem relatively soon. We'll see how it goes. That's good, that's good. May as well do this. And if you do that anyways, you may as well do all of these as real gravel roads. Great. Cool. Remove a couple of those nodes that really don't need to be there. Not there. Not there. Not there. These are fine. That one's fine. This one has to be organized too. I think there were a couple more along here that I didn't want. There's one. Just one, really. There are vehicles on this road. There shouldn't be! Make it go away! Nope. Can't combine those, but that's not the end of the world, honestly. Really? There we go. Now they're gone. Yeah, start building those. That's some gravel that you can get your nose into. That should be fine. I'm trying to think. What am I missing? Obviously, there's all of the water utility. There's all the basic things that the city still needs. So I guess that's what we're starting on next. Great. Good to see you too. We have water coming in from here, which is fine, which will just end up in this water tower right in the middle. We don't have kindergartens anywhere, and we do not have a water treatment plant set up yet. So we will start with the water treatment plant. Don't do the water unloading and loading station, because that's not the same thing as a water treatment plant, which is this one. We could get our water in from that side. Don't hate it. TRRRR. There you go. Water comes in from the right, and then you will actually spew it out to the left. Actually, don't love that. This feels better. Water in from this side, and then we can spew all our water into that direction, and we have footpath access to everything that I would ever care about. So excellent. Water tower. Do I need to split you out? No, I think I can just do one. Underground really quick. Hop you in there. Big pipe. Should be good enough. Great. It's a first start. The next thing we need is obviously another water reservoir of sorts, which a big water tower is the best option for that kind of stuff. Plop you close to the center of town because it should make things easy. Get a large, not a water substation, but a water pump going. Organize it somewhere. No, that's a small water pump. get a large water pump going, organize it somewhere in front of the residential buildings, which this one has access to stuff, right? Yeah, good. Just making sure. Looked like it was one that I actually didn't give access to, but no, it had access. There's a node there that it really wants to connect to, so we may as well make it happy. Large pipe this way, large pipe this way, and we're in business. Now we have water in the city. Beautiful. Let's do sewage, because sewage is more harder. Where should the sewage go? I only see one real place unless we treat the Isle of Wight as the place where we want that sewage to go. We could run it under the river and just dump it in here where there's also some pollution already happening. We're not the end of the world if we did that. We could also, well, we wouldn't really dump any other pollution here. That will be the only thing that goes there. Which is fine. The other place will be up here, but then maintenance and fire protection, all those things will be a problem. So I suppose we should put our sewage down here. Perfect. No problem. First try. That's exciting. No excavator. Are you kidding me? We just had them for like the other stuff that I did already. F3, F2 for this stuff. Nope. Just no excavator around. Fine. Will make my life a little harder, but why not? More stuff. Let's get the measurement tool out. Let's figure out where our sewage tanks have to go. Looks like one has to go here. Now that we know what the direction is of our sewage, don't worry about the collisions. We don't have any signals, which means the only one that actually complains about that is a train on a line, and all the other trains will just teleport home when they run into him. So it's fine. This one will cover this whole city. Beautiful. And then this one will cover the next city. Not all of it yet. This one already covers most up to this building. That's good to know. So you have to cover the rest, which now includes everything. Fine. That's good enough. Okay, so that is 2 sewage tanks sitting at 10 meters and 10 meters, and if you turn F2 on, which it was on the whole time, you can see that this is a whole plateau. So we have to go a little lower to get our sewage out of the city. For that, we do require a little bit of help for an excavator, which is not currently available. Could I have like one of you excavators doing something useful? Didn't I send 4 extra excavators out here? Yes, I did. Where are they? I am trying to do some city operations here, and you are just sitting there not helping me. How about you will be my helper? Go to the depot, because when they're in the depot, you can also use them as terraforming tools. It's great. The advantage is that it will never be called up to road construction or anything silly like that. How's this going? Can you make this a high priority? This too? I would like to keep a couple more people because apparently we're never filling this anymore, and those workers have gone to other places, probably partially to police stations, which is silly at the least, but it is what it is. Did you arrive? You did arrive. Very good. Let's start by making this great again. Okay, yep, 1 is a little slower than 2. That's the math that you have to do there, but we're getting there. It's also like kind of in the middle of a mountain, so this road is silly from the start. But you're doing it. Great. Proud of you. Wonderful. Cool. I know that this is at water level. It's effectively close to 0. I don't have to do much math, but if you don't believe me, you just hover here and it's close to 0. It's not 0 because 0 is the water, but it's close to 0, which is where you wanted it. I need the sewage stuff to go somewhere, and it has to go down below the level that we were at earlier. We could put that somewhere in the middle of the city. We can also put it right next to the police station, which will be here. There's more large pipe that you have to build then, which really just translates to, I probably prefer it closer to the city somewhere. Sure, here's fine. Nobody will suspect anything right here. We don't need to be lower, like much lower. It just has to be lower, and now we're lower. So build your sewage switch like so, which will have 3 inputs and 1 output. T will flip it around. RR will give me the road connection or the footpath connection that I want. And we're golden there. I will be lazy and just build the more expensive, larger pipes versus anything else. And I have a feeling that there will be never a reason to add another sewage switch over there. So I'm just going to be overzealous and connect them like this. And the last one should go under the water straight into here. Above the terrain at some stage. All right. If that is your main problem, I think we can go here and then go around all of this, and then it won't be above the terrain at any stage. Because we had that problem, I'm assuming that the angle is just funny, so I'm just going to use the outside connection right here and let you get going with that. Sewage done. Cool. Let's do water. Generally, what I like to do with water is simply use the same locations as where sewage was gone, because they will have the same range. So having them right next to it means A, you're probably covering the same area, and B, everyone should be happy. And those are positives for me. I think I'm getting every building. I know having this one, we don't need that one anymore. This one covers up to these 3 buildings, and then we just need to cover those 2 and everything behind them, which will be pretty much here. We're not covering the police station though. Ooh, good call. I don't know. Let's see here. TRR, RR. There. Now we're covering everything. I am not 100% sure that this sewage thing is covering... Oh, it is covering the police station. Barely, but it is. And barely, but it is covering it by default, and therefore that's good enough. Water comes out there. This is our water tower. You actually have to run around there a little bit. It's not the end of the world. It's fine. You just run the pipe a little funny, but that's cool. Probably medium pipe because we have no high density connections here. I'm going to use a large pipe to go in here and split out our medium pipe, and then the medium pipe will just go... Probably the front one goes that way. The bottom one goes... Really? Go the other way. Too sharp of a turn, I make less sharp. I mean, seriously. There you go. Everything's connected now. And good to go. Awesome. That's there. These are not the things that take the longest time to get right or even appropriate. The big one is waste. So let's do waste. I did verify that these containers, the large containers, no longer require a road connection at all. So they work for all buildings, which means, yay, you don't need a small container anymore if you don't absolutely want to. I'm okay with that. I mean, these guys look like they have to walk a little further than they normally would, but I think they will get just over it. This one does not have a footpath connection yet to anything useful. So let's add that before I add the container, because that will tell me if I need to add another container somewhere. Nope. Covers all 3 buildings here. These buildings are covered. I would like to cover this building while I'm in the area, which really just means give it a couple of extra footpath connections, and then we can try this again. And if you look, this one has a road connection now. Woohoo! And everyone is covered. Beautiful. I think we can even cover this guy if I let it. It's thinking about it, but it doesn't love what's currently going on here. So, nope, there was one there, but that's red. Counts. It's at 124 from there, so it actually connected to all the pieces right here. Great. That one... This one up here is going to be a little more challenging, so I'm probably just going to do a simple one for you guys. Here we have larger areas of influence, but we should connect them, so then we have an easier time actually getting all of this connected to the things. Also, this is one of the buildings that didn't have any connection. Interesting. There we go. Waste right here. Cool. Easy enough. These 4 buildings are covered. These buildings are not covered yet. Also, this guy is the sports hall is not connected to anything yet. That can't be right. We can't leave that happening. So that goes in there. This one connects all buildings here. That looks good. I doubt that anything out here is already connected to things. So let's give them a friend. And I think we're really down to the last beats. And I'm assuming if I give this one a little bit of access, that building will also be connected. So that's good. This one, prison. Do you want to be part of this, or do you want to be your own thing? Oh no, that's not prison. Okay, I can make this a little easier. Why? Because that building I'm currently staring at is not remotely close to be connected to this guy. And he has a couple guys that decided that they wanted walking access to the trash can that is over there. And now they do have all that access. I think this may be the only building in town that doesn't have everything yet. What do we have? 140 meters? Yes, 114 meters is fine, but 140 meters is a little more than what we can bear, unless this one somehow got access to it. 118 meters actually may be footpath access for trash. We can't see it right here, but I think this one will be connected to that building. At which point, we have now connected absolutely everything, and our money has gone in the right direction again. Isn't that exciting? Our happiness is also up there, which is also exciting. And we have filled up 2 extra buildings and still have 43 without any housing opportunity. Yeehaw. We cannot infinitely expand this. I am relying on the next city to actually get me some spots for more population. We just don't have that yet. Pipeline pressure, not high. Airport infrastructure, not high. Pollution, semiconductors. Fuel refinery could be interesting. Bauxite could be interesting. Don't think I need high capacity wiring. Electrified railway. I don't know that I'm going to go electric at all. So bauxite is what we're going to jump into. That'll be fine. Police station, you are doing what you're supposed to. These guys are just a little slow at doing that, but that's okay. How are you done again? No, stop sending me duplicate notifications. That is not helpful one bit. But now, we have trash. Great. And we have probably a lot of gravel here. Also great. We currently do not have this guy done, which will have the cement trucks driving around. We do, however, have this guy done, which just has the asphalt trucks driving around and others. So what we really just need is another quick NATO car, which our money there hasn't really moved, and I don't fully remember all the things that we're exporting to the NATO or paying money for, but that's okay. Let's get a quick vehicle. What is this? Oh, this is the cement truck. Very good. I would like you to go here. Sure. Get cement, wait until loaded 100%, and drive everything down here and wait until unloaded until this thing is completely full of 150 tons of stuff. That is 30 trips. Good luck. Godspeed. Here's our little car. I would like you to go get the excess people from here and drop them off right there. Go. That should turn all of this stuff on, and we should actually get some asphalt out of that group. You, sir, where are you going? Dumper, excavator, something, something, something. That is this. Oh, you just gone home? Oh, you're going home that way. I see. Ah, shortcut. Sure, you can have a shortcut. Especially now since we have to get out here and service some of these roads. Speaking of servicing some of those roads, before we really can service them, we should probably turn them into gravel roads because this is all silly. That looks good, that looks good, that looks good. They should pick it up automatically, so I'm not worried about that one bit. And then, what do we have left? We have a little bit of power already. We have water now done. We have sewage done. We have waste started. It's not done yet, but if I stick to this guy just delivering waste into this area and then have a distribution office delivered somewhere else, Honestly, right here is fine. Oh, this is... I don't know that this is good news necessarily, but there's a lot of waste sitting here, and this guy is picking up whatever they want to pick up. It doesn't matter what they pick up because they, at this transfer station, they can pick up anything they want. They don't have to wait until full on purpose. What do you bring? Mixed waste. Cool. What are you bringing? Mixed waste. Cool. But we have to get rid of this. That cannot stay there. So we probably want to handle this for real. And having a... Gosh, these small distribution offices are so big. Turn you around. Sure, you can sit right behind here. There's no manpower required for this thing to actually work. So this should be fine. Come on, a little more, a little more, a little more. And you're mostly going to be responsible for exporting trash. Make sure that the trash doesn't accumulate here. And I think I'm okay with that. 2 cities for this small incinerator should be sufficient. I don't know that we need more than that. Sufficient is probably not the right word to use there. How's it going over here? You have completed some rail. Beautiful. Have you started on the bridges yet? Nope, because you're not up there yet. Are you heading to the construction office? Control H sends you home and saves you a lot of this stuff. I am 100% planning on having another city here. There is coal in this area, and there may even be iron in this area. Let's see. We have the research done now. So coal is right in front of us there in this area. Iron is right behind us in this area. So there has to be a steel mill right in here. And I would like to man it from... It doesn't have to be super close. I just want a new rail construction office relatively close to the area because at this point our driving distance is humongous for our little rail cranes, and we can't really support that much longer. So that has to kind of be built and got ready, organized too. You guys just get this one done. I'm not sure. These all look like they got started, but they really didn't. That's a little interesting, but that's fine. I'm pretty sure that we never have any dump trucks sitting here. Do we have any available on this side yet? Dumper. That's the ruble side. That's not this side at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost full. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it's full. And that's it. It's all dumpers we're gonna get. This looks good though. Our gravel is being produced. This is more important for the driving distance and the speed than anything else. It's not really worth the money, but it's all right to have it there. And at some point, we're actually going to use this thing to move it to the next connection. You are starting to waste fuel by just driving around a little too much, but I'm willing to entertain that for now. I would like you to start out with... What are we on here? Rubles. Okay, we have these guys. Don't waste your rubles. Waste your dollars. Okay. This color. 1, 2, 3. That's what you're going to start with. And then this one, hopefully, garbage containers overfilling. Really? I'm not surprised by that. But we just did the research, and we know that we don't need a garbage container in every alley anymore. I don't like one-off garbage containers, so we're just going to plop this one here. At least it will supply multiple places with what they need. But that all looks good. Where's the fuel coming from? Fuel is right here. I would like to replace that. What do you want to replace it with? A fuel station. Fuel station would maybe fit here. I don't hate it. Could be in a much worse place. It's off the beaten path a little bit, but it does just effectively right next to where the original one was. So yeah, no, make that work. I know that we're still building a couple of these roads with existing construction offices that are not picking up the gravel from here, but that's not the end of the world for me. Okay, yeah, we're good. People-wise, I would like to see some more flats, but I can't really afford that. Also, you are blocking me from... what's this? Oh, I know which one you're blocked from. You're blocked from this guy because you cannot reach that bus stop right now. That's totally fine. Totally fair. Are you in walking range of stuff? Yes, you are. Okay. Let them do their thing. That's really all there is to it at this point. What do we still need? We still need monuments. What time is it? Nope. We still need monuments. We still need kindergartens. And we still need to build the whole city, which should be quicker once cement and asphalt is on. So I may let that continue while we wait for things to actually happen. Very good. So the plan is finally done. And you know what we're going to do next? This can build. We're probably going to have to start looking at our next thing because we're still not in need of a loan. We're still okay. We can cash flow everything, so we may as well figure out what we're doing next. And I just told you what we're doing next, which is a steel mill. So that's exciting. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.